My name is Ian Walsh. This is Masters of the Market with Hard Money Bankers, and I am joined with good friends. I've known these guys for quite some time. A lot of you probably watching this know them. Gaurav, Gambhir, Oller. Gentlemen, you've been on these videos before, but this is different. This isn't asking you about your history. This is asking about your future and a big announcement, actually. So by the time most people are watching this, they're actually going to be, this announcement will have hit the real estate world. In Philadelphia, and is making some rumbles in the region. And I know recently, Gaurav, you came back from Austin, Texas. Austin? Yeah. And you were at the big KW event down there, and you guys are more than on the map, let's put it that way. And why that is the case is you guys recently, well, you guys can say it, you've acquired the Philadelphia, you say exactly how it is because I'll say it wrong. You've acquired...
We got Keller Williams Center City. It's a franchise model, so we have now people who know, Antonio Attican was the owner-operator of the company, and we have now taken over the company, team of about 400 people, a company where Condo Shop was part of the team as well, and we are now the owners of Center City, Philadelphia. Our brand is now going to be called Keller Williams Philadelphia.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's start with the story of how this works. So I think the most interesting thing about you guys, I think you guys are really fantastic people. So it's always been nice to know you. Actually, I come around these parts because I like the people. Like, honestly, that's what it comes down to. And I think you guys have built a culture around you in the condo shops originally was where you guys started. And you built this together. I want to say you built it, but the people around you built it with you, right?
100%. I don't think Ben and I did this. We just were lucky enough to have been able to find the right people to believe in us, to work with us, and stay with us. And you always, one thing I've realized is you actually build the right team, and the team builds companies. Otherwise, it's impossible. It's not enough time in a day where you can do all those companies and all the work. It's always your team.
It's always the team. And you guys have always, and it's actually, believe it or not, it was hard to get these guys on camera because you guys are humble people. Like, people don't know this, but you don't see them in the public eye very much because they've always like, hey, how do we get the team involved? How do we get other people's faces up here? It's not really about ours. And I said, look, guys, this one time for this one announcement, please just do this, right? So
a long time ago, we were.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you start to step back a little bit.
You're old. I'm not old.
You start to step back a little bit. You trust the process and the people. And the way that it all came together was we were visionaries, and we were implementation experts. So if you have someone who can see something, and then someone who says I can build it, I can run with it, then you have a business. And then you start hiring other people, and you're bringing people into. Then you start to build a family culture or a corporate culture, and then it starts to grow. And it's like a snowball. You start at the top of the mountain, and you throw the ball down, and it rolls and rolls and rolls, and then you have something.
Then you look back and you say, "How did this happen?"
Yep.
It wasn't intentional. It just happened. You work every day, one day at a time. You empower the people that are in your team. You find opportunities for them to grow as well. Put yourself in the shoes. If you are motivated and hardworking, why would you work for somebody else? And that's why entrepreneurs come by and said, I can do this for myself. Not necessarily you have to do it by yourself, all alone. You can do it in a team. But as long as the opportunities are created for them as well, as long as they know if they fall back or fall behind, there's us to catch them. They got our support. They have the trust built into it. And I have the same comfort level with them. And that's where you build a family and a culture. It's way different than many people who would say things for saying it. When the time comes in to act, is that what defines you for the rest of your life? It's not being right. It's not being doing the right thing 99% of the time. It's doing it right 100% of the time. The one time when you did it, the 99% didn't matter. So that's what makes a difference. And we made sure we do it right every single time. You will make mistakes, but then you fix it with integrity. And it's all about who you surround yourself with. And that's what has been a very, very important factor in our building the businesses, that you just don't say things. You only say things that are going to be done. You don't make empty promises. You don't just tell the world that I'm going to be able to bring these values to your team. You actually do it. So that's what makes, I think, what defines us a little bit different than other people in the industry, because there's a lot of things that are said that are not true.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that. I've known you guys for so many years now, and whether it's my direct interactions with you or somebody else's interactions, the two things you just said are true. One, you say you're going to do something, you deliver. And two, when you say everything's easy when everything's working, right? But when things aren't working, or there's mistakes made, or something happens that's wrong, where does everybody stand? Where do the cards fall? What I've noticed, and the reputation you guys have developed, is we've got your back, right? That's like a thing that people know about you guys, and therefore the people that you work with have given you that respect back.
It's the only way people learn.
Mm-hmm.
And we've come to realize that you're going to make mistakes. You have to learn. It's how you're going to learn the next time, so you don't do it again. Mm-hmm. And that was our philosophy. That's our approach. You can make a huge mistake. We're going to be sad. We're not going to go after you. We're not going to yell at you. We're going to stand behind you and show you how to fix it. And if we don't know the answers, we'll figure it out together. So we understand, come up with a game plan to make sure this doesn't happen again. But people only learn by making mistakes, and we give people the opportunity, the rope, the leash to go out and be a professional in this business. And we're here to help them.
And I think it's more fun as well. You know, when you
fun is a good word with you guys. Fun. Yeah, you guys are fun.
When you're working with people that you like and you feel like family, and you are going out to celebrate and you share each other's pains, that's what really makes a company different. Mm-hmm. And we really genuinely care. We only want to surround ourselves with people that have the same philosophy and the culture. You're only as good as your recommendation. Mm-hmm. Then you're only as good as who you surround yourself with, mm-hmm. because they're the ones who are going to be feeding into you the right and the good and the bad and the ugly, and you learn from them by being around them. Surround yourself with the right people. Who are your friends? You know, you get judged by who you hang out with. So don't just think that I'm going to do the right thing, but my other friends around me that I surround myself with can do what they want. The outside world looks at you and say, you are surrounding yourself with these people, and that's what and who you are. Mm-hmm. So we have to be very cognizant of that fact as well, that who do we surround ourselves with, because we're going to learn from them. We're going to help them as well. And
you guys have done a good job with that. I've seen, so you guys have, you guys have multiple companies. You have, obviously, so you're the new owners of KW Center City, right? There's 400 people, but there's other companies. You have TCS Management, you have TCS Investments, you have TCS Black Label, you have Rent Philly, you have all these companies, all these people around. And what I've noticed, and I've seen, I've certainly kept an eye on what you guys have been doing, is that in all these companies, the people you've worked together with have not only become people that work together, but they've become friends. And I don't mean friends like, hey, we come in at 9 o'clock and we're friendly for the day. These become groups of people that then consider each other. If you said to them, hey, who are your 5 friends that you're hanging out with tonight? They all hang out with each other inside of work, outside of work, and individually in these different groups of people. And I think whatever atmosphere you guys have provided is extremely interesting to be able to create that, where these are people that really genuinely like each other, and they just happen to work together. It wasn't like you're forcing people to work together that have to like each other. They just happen to work together, and you have, I know certain people that are vacationing together that work together in this office. It really escalates.
That's a problem as well. They all go on the vacation.
They go on vacation together, right? It's crazy. So it's a really cool atmosphere you guys have built. But I think something that
it's not supposed to feel like work.
It's not supposed to.
You've done that. You've accomplished that. I don't know how you guys. It's hard to do, right? You can't write that on paper how that works. You can't.
I hear the conversations. I like to listen to the water cooler chit chat, and it's life. And our people, our family, come here earlier than normal. You could say. I walked in the door today at 7:30, and people were here hanging out. I'm like, what are you guys doing here so early? I said, we'd rather be here than anywhere else.
Right.
And that's a testament to
everybody
here. To everybody here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say there's something about me and Ben as well. We have always led by example. Not a single person can walk in and say that knows us in our business that we are not working. Or I bet Gaurav and Ben might be sleeping late at home, or might be on a vacation because that's what they do every second week. Or because it's raining, they might just work from home today. We are at work. We are at work no matter what it is.
Our phone, you can call us.
I carry 2 phones. I get fun of this all the time.
Hours a day. We answer our phones.
But that's what they want to see. They want to see if the owner of the company and the person that they're relying on and they're believing in is going to work equal with them, next to them, be there, then they have no excuse. We are their accountability partners. We are working with them. And that's a real value that I think we bring in because of our work ethics. And then we get along well. We maintain a good relationship with each other. And that's what you tell the world, this is how you need to work. It's not about money. Money will come. Money is a byproduct. You got to be able to make a difference in the careers for yourself and for people around you. And you mentioned about the different companies. It's always a good feeling to hear the names. They all come one by one, and I can pinpoint which person was the reason why that came by. Because you have these ideas in mind, but then that particular person was the reason why we were able to implement it. And the way that those people believe in us also is from your track record. Mm-hmm. For what you have done, then it becomes easier. And you empower them. You make them partners. You allow them to grow as well. It's not just about you. It's about them as well. Mm-hmm. And that's a key factor. People want to look at you and say, these guys are making all the businesses for themselves. They all they want to do is about themselves. That's not who we are. We want to do this for all of us combined. We want to build a legacy with all of us combined, not just for me and Ben. And we wouldn't be here without them. We are just the faces to the team that's working hard on the back end. And thanks to them that they put me in a seat here today, because I started as an agent or as an IT business, then the agent, then got fortunate enough to start a company or a team. And then the team became bigger. Then we got into different businesses, then management and investments and and luxury and rental. It's just getting a little out of hand at times. But thank God, each one of them is being handled by somebody. Sorry if I went all over the place.
No, it makes sense. And I think something I want to touch back on is it sounds. Somebody watching this video goes, "Oh my gosh, how do I get to that position?" Like for the average person watching this. You might be an agent, might be somebody just getting in the business, an investor, and goes, how do I go from flipping one house a year, or how do I go from an agent selling a few houses a year to, these guys are untouchable, they're out of reach. They own Keller Williams Center City now, and they have 5 businesses. But the truth is, 2 things I know about you guys. I've known you guys before this whole thing came crazy. You're literally the same person you were when I met you. Like, nothing's changed. And the second thing is that, your story is you were there. Like, you were that person watching this right now. You were the person you were in the IT world. You were in the limousine business at one point, right? So how do you go from 0 to this? Like, is it the dreams? Is it the aspirations? Is it staying consistent? How do you make yourself and the person watching this into what you guys have accomplished at this point?
I've been talking a lot.
Go ahead, Ben. Where'd you start? 2006 limousine business, right? Or maybe even earlier than that.
Listen, it was a byproduct of fear. Not knowing what
Good
I was
answer.
going to do with my life. I had sold my company. I didn't want to go work directly with my father. It would have been a tough situation. I had an opportunity to get into the real estate business. It was right before the crash, and the name of the company was the Condo Shop. So it was a very challenging time. And I met the right people, and I had a little bit of a security blanket, and it took a little bit of the pressure off, and I realized that you really have to surround yourself with people that have a drive, a real drive. And I was fortunate, and Gaurav and I, it's been one thing after the other, but I was lucky enough to find the right person, and then from there we found more people. And the fear got a little bit less and less. And there were times when we started out, we were paycheck to paycheck. We were dying, and we had no idea if this was going to be the future or what we were going to do. And I would call him sitting in a restaurant saying, "Come here with a check or I'm quitting today."
I'm smiling because all those memories are coming back.
I mean, really.
We used to open the door in the morning, and I used to ask him to take the trash out, and I used to sweep the floor. This is like literally 7 years ago. Yes. And we opened the retail shop. I was like, Ben, I hate this wind. This blows leaves every day. I have to sweep the floor. And he said, what do you want me to do? I said, you sweep it today.
My God.
It was humble beginnings, and we were at the right place at the right time. We had really good relationships in the industry, and we leveraged our relationships and said, we're either going to do this or go home. And we looked at ourselves and said, we have no choice. People like us, we can do this.
Not just like us. It's you have to be likable. You have to do the right thing for them to like you, and then believe in you. It doesn't matter. Liking doesn't just mean that I like to hang out with you. Are you going to be? Can I trust you that you're going to handle the investment for me the same way that I would handle it myself? Well, that's a trust factor, and it goes from every single time. And if you want to delete everything that we talked about, and comes down to people, people, people. It's just like in real estate, they talk about location, location, location. It's the people.
In business,
it's the people.
And you have to keep your word. Your word is what gives people the trust in you. Even if you find it hard to you promise something and you don't want to. You really don't want to, but you did. You really have to stand behind it, no matter what, because that just changes the whole game. If you don't, no matter if you made a bad decision or you lost money on a deal because you didn't think it through, you still stand behind it. You always keep your word, no matter good or bad.
So I love what you guys have built. What are you building next? I mean, you guys have 400. I mean, the announcement is fresh, and everybody that's around there is familiar with the situation. But there's another 2 or 3 years of huge growth and 400 people that you have to deliver this kind of energy to. So what do you guys see?
We can't give you all our secrets.
Oh, okay.
Let's get in here first.
Give us a little glimpse as to where we're going. What's going on over the next few years?
Well, it's going to be many more sleepless nights.
Okay.
I haven't slept in the last 7 days.
Check.
It seems very easy that we're sitting in this thing. I haven't slept in the last 7 days.
Yep.
Yesterday was a bad day in terms of I couldn't keep my eyes open during the daytime. But that's what is needed. And the reason why, he came back from a trip and is calling me in the middle of the night or emailing it because he can't sleep either. The problem is that we are putting ourselves in this position now where we are responsible not for 400 people, 1,200 people. And the way I look at it is every family has at least 3 people on average. That means 400 people. If we don't do the right thing today or we make a change in our decision making, people will always find themselves a home or somewhere else, or will struggle and find something to settle down. But I'm going to I'm going to ruffle the waters for 1,200 people. I feel responsible for that. I think that's a burden I have to carry on my shoulders, and so I have a lot of things to do in the next 1 year at least, and then create a leverage, empower the people that are there, bring more people to the team, and that's what's going to look like because we won't stop. And we already have ideas of there's so many things that you can do with a team of 400 people. So now that's the next step, of the opportunity we're going to expand into. But
to bring other opportunities to our agents,
correct,
to our clients, to offering more services to them, to expanding on what has been built so far. Antonio did a yeoman's job building this company. He started it, and when no one knew what KW meant. Now he's got 3 offices and 5 ancillary mega centers inside this franchise. I know Gaurav has been meeting with every agent, giving them some love. I've been playing with the agents too. We're here. We want to give them some more opportunities that we have, that we see, some visions that we think might help them. I know Gaurav is back and forth with Austin. He's sending me out there in October, so I'm gonna get to see what he keeps going there to do.
I was lucky enough to be in the same room with Gary Keller twice now. And that was a.
He's a big name, man. That's a big name in this industry.
The name is big, but I was fortunate to be able to get there, sit in the first seat, have a conversation with him like this for about 5 hours. Not one-on-one, but there was almost about 100 people in the room. But man, the vision is great. The commitment is great, and this is the same way that I'm talking how passionate I am. I see the same passion in him, and he says I have not only 185,000 agents times 3. But I also have this whole industry. He feels responsible in some way or the form that he's gonna be the defining person, or not just him. He's now in a position that it has to be him. So I like that idea. I like the words that he has used in the past. Like, it's not just because I want to do it, or I am now in a position to have 185,000 people. It says, if not me, then who? Nobody is at this point in life, at this junction, to be able to make a decision. He says the same thing. I work more harder now than I ever worked in my life because he has no choice. He has to for all of us and for the industry. And I have the same. And I'm not comparing myself, but I'm saying I see the passion and I'm feeding off that energy. If he can do it, which he doesn't want to do, he doesn't have to do it. I need to do it. So if not us, then who? our team's relying on us. We have to do it. There's no choice.
Well, I love it, guys. Do you have anything? So with this, I mean, first of all, congratulations. This is not an easy thing, right? This was something that took some real finesse and time and energy.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I hope that you're going to take one of the training days to teach about investment banking.
I will, if I'm invited, you have no question I'll be there. So no question.
A lot of educational information to our agents.
I would love to. I'm usually on this side of the camera, but I'd love to speak and teach them anything I could. So
I've seen you talk to Temple before, Temple students.
I've talked to some Temple kids before. 20 kids that hopefully took something away from it. Maybe they'll work here one day. So speaking of that, so what you right now you have a lot of agents, a lot of investors, agents from different brokerages watching this. And maybe where they are, they're happy. Maybe where they are, they're not. I don't know. If they decided, hey, what I've seen here or what I hear is going on is something I want to be involved with, or I want to come have a cup of coffee with Gaurav or Ben, whatever. How would they get a hold of you under the new KW model or the new purchase? Is there how would they contact you guys? And
my email is Gaurav at kw.com, Gaurav at kw.com, and I'm more than happy to talk to anyone. I'm a very open book. I like to share what I believe in, what opportunity we can create for you. At the end of the day, the person you can only bring the horse to the water. They have to drink the water. But we have enough opportunities for them to take advantage of at this point. I think we have more opportunities than the people that we can manage. With this new 400 people coming in our new world, our family just grew much bigger. I think that is going to create further more opportunities. And not just that because somebody is there for the opportunity, they'll maximize on it. It has to be the deep down passion to be able to do that as well. Some people will screen themselves out and will feed into the other people who have the same passion. But we'll shake things up for a little time, and I think we'll look back a year from now and say, now who we have, 300 or 3,000 or 1,000 people will be the people that we feel are the right people for us to work with. So if there's somebody who thinks they can add value or want to take part of the values that we have built in, I would love to talk. I think there's a lot to give and take on both sides.
Perfect. And as I'm going to quote Ben from earlier in this conversation, you guys are about to make history. Is that what it is? Going to make history? I love that saying.
I hope so.
It's perfect. This might even be called Make History, this whole video.
Knock on wood.
So thank you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ben, you look sharp, my friend. Always.
Just for you.
Thank you.